The massive alien ship appeared over Seoul on a Tuesday morning, casting shadows across the city like a metal cloud. Captain Lee Dae-ho stood on the roof of the Defense Ministry building, watching the vessel slowly descend toward the designated landing zone. His radio crackled with reports from military bases around the world. Every nation was watching, waiting, hoping this first meeting with aliens would go well. Lee Dae-ho was not a man who scared easily. He had served in 3 conflicts and commanded respect from soldiers half his age. But today his hands were slightly damp with sweat. Humanity was about to meet beings from another world, and he was chosen to represent Earth. The ship landed, with barely a sound, settling on the specially prepared platform at Seoul Spaceport. It was beautiful in a strange way, made of materials that seemed to shift color in the sunlight. The surface was smooth without any visible joints or seams. Earth's best engineers had studied the images for weeks, unable to understand how such a thing could fly. Dr. Park Soo-jin stood beside him, carrying a tablet full of notes and questions. She was Earth's leading expert on life sciences, though she had never studied alien life before today. No one had. Her black hair was pulled back tightly, and her lab coat flapped in the wind from the landing ship. "Are you ready for this?" Lee Dae-ho asked her. "No one could be ready for this," she replied, but her voice was steady. "We are about to learn if we are alone in the universe or not." The ship's side opened without any visible door or hatch. It simply became an opening, as if the metal had decided to step aside. 3 figures emerged, walking down a ramp that appeared as they needed it. They were tall, taller than any human, with long limbs and skin that looked like polished stone. Their heads were larger than human heads, with eyes that seemed to glow softly blue. The lead alien wore something that might have been clothing, or might have been part of its body. It was hard to tell. The being moved with grace, each step measured and careful. Behind it came 2 others, clearly guards or assistants. Lee Dae-ho walked forward, his military uniform pressed and clean. Behind him came a small group of Earth representatives, scientists, diplomats and translators, though no one knew if translation would even be possible. The lead alien stopped a few meters away and made a sound that was almost like music. Then, to everyone's surprise, it spoke in clear English. "Greetings, humans of Earth. I am Ambassador Velther of the Kithani Empire. We have traveled far to meet your species." The voice was strange, with tones that seemed to come from multiple places at once, but the words were clear and the meaning was obvious. Lee Dae-ho felt relief wash over him. At least they could talk. "Welcome to Earth, Ambassador Velther," Lee Dae-ho replied, giving a small bow. "I am Captain Lee Dae-ho of the United Earth Defense Force. We are honored by your visit." The alien's head tilted slightly, studying the human in front of it. "You are smaller than our scans suggested," Velther said. "And your lifespan is quite short compared to galactic norms." Most curious, Dr. Park Soo-jin stepped forward. "We are eager to learn about the galaxy and other forms of life. Your arrival opens up possibilities we have only dreamed about." Velther's glowing eyes focused on her. "You are a scientist, yes? Your bio readings suggest high intelligence, though limited by your brief existence. We have much to discuss." Over the next several hours, the aliens explained their purpose. They represented something called the Galactic Council, a group of advanced civilizations that govern most of the known galaxy. They had detected Earth's radio signals and decided to investigate this new species. "Your technology is primitive," Velther explained as they toured a conference room prepared for the meeting. "Your weapons are crude, your space travel barely exists, and your social structures are chaotic. However, the Council believes in protecting developing species." Lee Dae-ho translated this in his mind. They thought humans were too weak and stupid to take care of themselves. "We offer Earth-protected status," the ambassador continued. "You will be placed under the guidance of more advanced species. In time, perhaps your descendants will develop enough to join galactic society as junior members." The words were polite, but the meaning was clear. The alien saw humans as children who needed adult supervision. Dr. Park Soo-jin made notes on her tablet. But Lee Dae-ho could see the tight line of her mouth. She was not happy with this offer. What would this protection involve? Asked Dr. Kim Tae-young, Earth's representative from the United Nations. Restrictions on your development of certain technologies, Veltha replied. Guidance in social development, protection from hostile species who might harm you, standard procedures for primitive worlds. Lee Dae-ho felt anger rise in his chest, but he kept his voice calm. And if we choose not to accept this protection? The alien paused as if the question surprised it. That would be ... unwise. Your species lacks the knowledge to survive contact with the greater galaxy. Without protection, you would likely destroy yourselves within a few generations. Dr. Park Soo-jin looked up from her tablet. May I ask about your own biology? We are curious about how different species develop. Of course, Veltha replied, seeming pleased by the question. We Kithani live for approximately 800 of your years. Our bones are much denser than yours, our muscles stronger. We developed space travel over 2,000 years ago and have been part of galactic civilization for longer than your species has existed. As the alien spoke, Dr. Park Soo-jin noticed something interesting. When the conference room's air conditioning adjusted the temperature, she watched the aliens carefully. They seemed uncomfortable with the change, taking several minutes to adapt. When someone dropped a pen and it clattered on the floor, all three aliens jumped slightly at the unexpected sound. Meanwhile, the humans in the room had barely noticed these small changes. They adapted instantly, without thinking about it. Dr. Park Soo-jin made a note about this, wondering if it meant something important. The meeting continued for hours. The aliens explained their technology, their society, and their expectations. For Earth, they were clearly intelligent and advanced, but Dr. Park Soo-jin began to notice a pattern. They seemed to think in very rigid ways, following established procedures and protocols. When she asked questions that required creative thinking, they often seemed confused or gave standard answers. As the day ended, Veltha and his companions returned to their ship. They would stay on Earth for several weeks, they explained, to study human society and prepare formal documents for the council. That evening, Lee Dae-ho and Dr. Park Soo-jin met privately in a secure government building. What do you think? Lee Dae-ho asked. Dr. Park Soo-jin was quiet for a moment, reviewing her notes. They are definitely advanced, she said finally. Their technology is far beyond ours, but I noticed something strange today. What? They seem to have trouble adapting to changes. Small things like temperature or unexpected sounds. We barely notice those things, but they seem to affect the aliens greatly. And their thinking seems very ... structured. They follow patterns, but they do not seem good at improvising. Lee Dae-ho nodded slowly. You think that might be important? I think, Dr. Park Soo-jin said carefully, that we should study them as much as they study us. We might learn things they do not expect us to learn. Outside, the alien ship glowed softly in the darkness, a reminder that Earth was no longer alone in the universe. But whether that was good news or bad news remained to be seen. 3 weeks after first contact, the aliens had built a small research station near the landing site. Commander Kim Tae-woo watched the construction from a hidden observation post 2 kilometers away. The aliens worked slowly but efficiently, using tools that seemed to shape metal and stone with invisible forces. Kim Tae-woo was a careful man. He had spent 20 years in military intelligence, and his job was to understand threats before they became dangerous. The aliens claimed to be peaceful, but he had learned never to trust claims without proof. Through his binoculars, he watched Kithani workers directing robot-like machines that assembled their buildings. The construction moved in precise patterns, each step following the previous one exactly. There was no improvisation, no changes to the plan, even when problems arose. Sir, came a voice behind him. Engineer Yoon Hana approached with a tablet in her hands. She was young, barely 30, but her understanding of technology impressed even senior officers. I have been studying the energy signatures from their equipment. Kim Tae-woo lowered his binoculars. What did you find? Their power source is incredibly advanced, she said, showing him readings on her screen. But the way they use it is very predictable. The energy flows follow exact patterns, the same every time. I think I'm beginning to understand how it works, this surprised Kim Tae-woo. Earth's best scientists had been studying alien technology for weeks without making progress. How is that possible? Yoon Hana smiled slightly. They do not try to hide anything. I think they believe we are too primitive to understand their technology, so they do not bother with security measures. They work right in front of us, not caring if we watch. Over the past weeks, the aliens had continued their study of human society. They interviewed politicians, scientists, and military leaders, asking questions about Earth's history, technology, and social structures. But their questions followed obvious patterns, and their reactions were always predictable. Dr. Park Soo-jin had spent hours with alien researchers, answering their questions about human biology. She quickly realized they were more interested in confirming their existing beliefs than learning new information. When she tried to explain human adaptability or creativity, they seemed to dismiss these traits as unimportant. They think our short lives make us weak, she told Kim Tae-woo. During a secure meeting, they believe that because we live only decades instead of centuries, we cannot develop deep knowledge or wisdom. But that is not true, Yoon Hana added. Our short lives make us learn faster, not slower. We have to adapt quickly because we do not have centuries to figure things out. Kim Tae-woo nodded. What else have you learned about them? Dr. Park Soo-jin consulted her notes. They have incredible memory. They can remember exact details from hundreds of years ago. But they seem to have trouble learning new things that do not fit their existing knowledge. When I showed them examples of human creativity in art or music, they seemed confused. They could not understand why we would make things that serve no practical purpose. Meanwhile, Colonel Cho Min-ho had been quietly working with selected military units. His orders came directly from the highest levels of government: prepare Earth's defenses, but do it secretly. The aliens might be peaceful now, but that could change. Cho Min-ho had chosen his people carefully. They were the best pilots, engineers, and strategists Earth had to offer. More importantly, they were people who could think fast and adapt to new situations. The aliens have shared some basic technology with us, he explained to his team during a classified briefing. They think we are too primitive to understand anything dangerous. But Engineer Yoon and her team are making progress in understanding their systems. Lieutenant Nam Soo-bin raised her hand. She was one of Earth's best pilots, with experience flying everything from fighter jets to experimental spacecraft. Sir, are we preparing for war? We are preparing for possibilities, Cho Min-ho replied carefully. The aliens seem peaceful, but they also seem to think we are their pets. Pets sometimes get replaced when they become inconvenient. The aliens had established routines in their study of Earth. Every morning, their researchers would meet with human scientists. Every afternoon, they would file reports with their ship. Every evening, they would conduct maintenance on their equipment. The patterns never changed. Kim Tae-woo used these patterns to his advantage. During maintenance periods, when the aliens were distracted, small teams of human engineers would get close enough to scan their technology with instruments the aliens did not recognize as dangerous. Yoon Hana led these scanning missions. She had developed new sensor equipment that looked like ordinary scientific instruments but could analyze alien technology in detail. The aliens, seeing her youth and small size, treated her like a curious child. They often smiled at her questions and gave simple answers, never realizing she understood more than they imagined. Their computers are amazing, she reported after one scanning session, but they think in very linear ways. Human computers are designed to handle multiple tasks at once, changing priorities as needed. Theirs follow predetermined pathways and have trouble when unexpected things happen. Dr. Park Soo-jin had made similar observations about alien biology. They are physically stronger than us, she explained to the military leadership. Their bones are denser, their muscles more powerful, but they adapt slowly to environmental changes. When we moved our meetings to different rooms with different lighting or temperature, They needed time to adjust. We adapted instantly without thinking about it. This information was valuable, but Kim Tae-woo worried about something else. The aliens were not just studying Earth, they were reporting to their superiors in the galaxy. Soon other alien species would learn about humanity. Some might be friendly, but others might see Earth as a threat or a resource to be exploited. Captain OJ-1, who served as liaison with the alien research team, brought concerning news from his daily meetings with Ambassador Velther. They are preparing to leave soon, he reported. Velther said they have learned everything they need to know about human society. They will return to their council with recommendations about Earth's status. What kind of recommendations? Kim Tae-woo asked. Protection status, as they suggested before. But there was something in the way Velther spoke. I think they see us as useful but not important. Like tools that might be helpful for simple tasks. That evening, the senior Earth leadership met in the deepest bunker beneath Seoul. President Ro Yun-soo listened as his advisors reported their findings. The aliens underestimate us, Kim Tae-woo summarized. They see our short lives, our smaller bodies, our newer technology, and they assume we are inferior. They do not recognize our strengths, adaptability, creativity, quick learning, and the ability to work together despite our differences. What do you recommend? The president asked. We continue to appear harmless while secretly advancing our capabilities, Kim Tae-woo replied. Let them think we are weak and grateful for their protection. Meanwhile, we prepare for the day when we might need to prove them wrong. Dr. Park Soo-jin added, we should also study their weaknesses. They are powerful, but they are not perfect. Their rigid thinking and slow adaptation could be advantages for us if conflict ever arises. Yoon-hana spoke up, her voice quiet but confident. Give me 6 months with their technology, and I can build weapons and ships they will not expect. They have shown us everything, thinking we cannot understand it. But human engineering is different from theirs. We can take their technology and improve it in ways they never considered. President Roh looked around the room at his advisors. Very well, we will accept their protection status publicly, but privately we will prepare. If the aliens prove to be true friends, our preparations will not matter. If they prove to be false friends, he paused, then Earth will be ready. The alien ship still glowed in the darkness outside Seoul, a symbol of advanced civilization and galactic power. But in hidden facilities around Earth, human engineers worked through the night studying alien technology and developing improvements the aliens never imagined possible. The students were about to become the teachers, though their professors did not know it yet. 2 months after the aliens left Earth, the first call for help arrived. Ambassador Velther's message appeared on screens in government buildings around the world. His usual calm manner seemed strained, and his glowing eyes appeared dimmer than before. People of Earth, he began, the Gathani Empire faces an unexpected conflict with the Zephyrian Collective. Both our civilizations value the potential of your species and request your assistance in this matter. President Ro Yun-soo watched the message from his office in Seoul, surrounded by his military advisors. The request was politely worded, but the meaning was clear. The aliens wanted human help in their war. What kind of assistance are they requesting? Asked General Song Woo-jin, Earth's newly appointed Space Command leader. The answer came in a follow-up transmission. The aliens wanted humans to serve in support roles, cargo transport, basic maintenance, and simple construction work. They made it clear that humans would be kept far from actual combat, for your own safety and protection. Kim Tae-woo studied the tactical reports that came with the request. They are fighting over mining rights in a distant star system, he explained to the Leadership Council. Both sides claim the same resources, and negotiations have failed. It appears their conflict has been building for months. Colonel Cho Min-ho had a different perspective. This is our chance to see how they really fight. We can learn their tactics, their weaknesses, and their capabilities. Information we could never get otherwise. Dr. Park Soo-jin agreed. We can also test our own improvements to their technology. If our modifications work in real conditions, we will know we are on the right track. President Roh made the decision. Quickly, we will help them, but on our terms. We choose who goes and what missions they take. And we send our best people, not just volunteers. Lieutenant Nam Subin was among the first humans selected for space duty. She had trained extensively with the hybrid technology Yun Hana's team had developed. Alien ships with human modifications that the aliens did not know about. Her squadron consisted of 12 pilots, all experienced and all carrying hidden upgrades to their supposedly simple transport ships. The journey to the conflict zone took 3 weeks. Nam Subin spent the time studying both alien factions involved in the fighting. The Kithani were methodical and powerful, preferring direct assaults with overwhelming force. The Zephyrians were faster but seemed to rely on proven tactics that had worked for them in previous conflicts. Both sides treated the human contingent like useful pets. They gave simple assignments and expected simple results. Nam Subin and her pilots transported supplies, delivered messages, and performed maintenance tasks that the aliens considered beneath their attention, but the humans watched everything. They observed fleet movements, studied weapon systems, and analyzed communication patterns. Most importantly, they learned how both alien species reacted to unexpected situations. Captain OJ-1 commanded the human support group, officially reporting to both alien fleets as requested. In reality, he reported only to Earth, sending detailed intelligence back through hidden communication channels that Yun Hana had built into their ships. The Kithani attack in formations that never change, he reported during one encrypted transmission. They use the same patterns every time, just with different numbers of ships. The Zephyrians defend using tactics they have used for generations. Both sides seem incapable of adapting when something unexpected happens. The opportunity to test this observation came sooner than expected. Nam Subin was leading a supply convoy between 2 Kithani bases when pirate ships attacked. The pirates were neither Kithani nor Zephyrian, but a third species that raided both sides for profit. They struck fast, targeting the convoy's alien escorts while ignoring the harmless human transports. The alien escort ships followed standard defensive procedures, forming a protective formation around the convoy while calling for reinforcements. But the pirates had clearly studied these procedures. They knew exactly how the aliens would respond, and they used this knowledge to outmaneuver the escorts. Nam Subin watched 3 alien ships get destroyed in the first minutes of the attack. The remaining escorts were falling back toward the convoy, following their training to protect the cargo at all costs. But this meant they were being pushed into a trap the pirates had prepared. "Squadron, this is lead," Nam Subin said over the com channel. "Prepare for emergency maneuvers." "Lead, we are transport ships," replied her wingman, Lieutenant Park Hyun-woo. "We are not supposed to fight." "The aliens do not expect us to fight," Nam Subin replied. "Neither do the pirates. That is why this will work." Instead of staying in formation like good transport ships, the human squadron scattered. They moved in unpredictable patterns, using the improved engines Yun Hana had secretly installed. The pirates, expecting slow and helpless cargo ships, suddenly faced fast and agile opponents moving in ways that made no sense. Nam Subin's ship carried more than just supplies. Hidden weapon systems, designed to look like normal ship components, came online for the first time in actual combat. The weapons were based on alien technology but improved with human engineering. They fired faster, aimed more accurately, and adapted to targets in real time. The first pirate ship to die never knew what hit it. Nam Subin's transport appeared directly behind it, firing weapons that should not exist. The pirate ship exploded. Before its crew could react, the remaining human ships joined the attack, moving in coordinated patterns that the pirates could not predict. Where alien tactics were rigid and predictable, human tactics flowed like water. Adapting to each moment and each opportunity, Captain OJ-1 led his ship in a maneuver that would have been impossible for alien crews. He used his transports cargo bay as a weapon, ejecting supplies at high speed to create obstacles while his hidden weapons targeted enemy engines. 2 pirate ships found themselves tangled in cargo nets and disabled by precisely aimed shots. The battle lasted only 12 minutes. When it ended, 7 pirate ships were destroyed or disabled, and the convoy was safe. The alien escorts were amazed and confused. They had never seen tactics like the ones the humans used. "How did you accomplish this?" asked Commander Zethara of the Kithani escort group. "Your ships are not equipped for combat." "We improvised," OJ-1 replied simply. "When faced with danger, we used what we had available." The alien commander seemed puzzled by this answer. "But improvisation is inefficient. Proper tactics require planning and established procedures." "Sometimes," Namsu-bin said, joining the conversation, "the best plan is to have no plan at all." Word of the human success spread quickly through both alien fleets. The story grew with each telling becoming more impressive and more mysterious. Some aliens dismissed it as luck, but others began to pay attention to the small human contingent. Dr. Kang Mi-young, Earth's representative with the Zephyrian fleet, reported similar observations. "They are curious about us now," she transmitted to Earth, "not as pets or tools, but as something they do not understand. They are beginning to ask questions about human capabilities." But the most important result was not alien attention. It was proof that human technology and tactics could succeed in real combat. The hybrid ships had performed perfectly, the human crews had adapted instantly to unexpected situations, and Earth's military theories had worked in practice. Kim Tae-woo studied the battle reports with satisfaction. "They invited us to their war to carry their supplies," he told President Roh. "Instead, we learned how to fight their battles better than they do." Colonel Cho Min-ho was already planning the next phase. "Our people in space are proving what we hoped. Humans can not only match alien capabilities, we can exceed them. The question now is how long we can keep this secret." General Song Woo-jin looked at the tactical displays showing human positions throughout the alien conflict zone. "Maybe we do not want to keep it secret much longer. Maybe it is time to show the galaxy what humans can really do." In space, Subin and her squadron continued their support missions, carrying supplies and performing maintenance. But now they also carried something else, the knowledge that when the time came to fight, humanity would be ready. The aliens had invited Earth to their war as servants. They were about to learn that they had invited wolves instead of sheep. News of human success against the pirates spread through galactic communication networks faster than anyone expected. Admiral Park Hyeon-woo read the intelligence reports from his command ship, noting how different alien species were reacting to stories about human combat effectiveness. "The Kithani are calling it luck," reported Captain Lee Seora from her position with the advanced scout fleet. "They say humans got lucky against inferior pirates who were not prepared for desperate moves by cargo ships. What about the Zephyrians?" Park Hyeon-woo asked. "They are more interested," she replied. "Their military analysts have been asking questions about human tactical training and ship modifications. They want to know how we achieve such results with supposedly basic equipment." But the most concerning report came from Dr. Kang Mi-young, who was monitoring communications between different alien factions. "A third party has taken notice," she transmitted during a secure communication. "The Vorthan Empire sent observers to interview survivors from the pirate attack. They are very interested in human capabilities." Park Hyeon-woo knew about the Vorthans from Earth's intelligence files. They were older than both the Kithani and Zephyrians, with technology that surpassed even these advanced civilizations. More importantly, they were known for conquering or absorbing species that showed military potential. The war between the Kithani and Zephyrians had been escalating for weeks. What started as a dispute over mining rights had grown into a conflict involving dozens of star systems. Both sides continued to request more human support. Impressed by the efficiency and reliability of Earth's contingent, Commander Yang So-young had been working with communication systems for both alien fleets, officially helping to coordinate supply deliveries. In reality, she was building something much more ambitious, a unified communication network that could connect all human forces across the battle zone instantly. "Alien communication systems are powerful but inflexible," she explained to Park Hyeon-woo during a briefing. Each species uses different protocols, different frequencies, and different security measures. They cannot talk to each other efficiently, even when they are allies. But you found a way around this? I built a translation layer that runs on our ships, Yang So-young replied with pride. It converts any alien communication protocol into a standard human format, then back again. More importantly, it allows our ships to communicate with each other through alien networks without the aliens realizing we are doing it. This breakthrough had enormous implications. Human forces scattered across dozens of star systems could now coordinate their actions in real time, sharing information and planning joint operations. While appearing to work independently for their alien employers, the first test of this capability came during a major Zephyrian offensive against Kithani positions in the Kepler 442 system. Both sides had requested human support for the operation, not knowing that this meant humans would be fighting on both sides of the same battle. Captain Bay Jiho commanded human forces attached to the Kithani defense fleet, while Lieutenant Commander Yu Min-seok led humans working with the Zephyrian attack force. Officially, they were enemies in this battle. Secretly, they were coordinating every move through Yang So-young's communication network. The battle began as most alien conflicts did, with rigid formations, predictable tactics, and overwhelming firepower. The Zephyrians attacked in waves, following proven strategies that had worked for centuries. The Kithani defended using formations that had protected their territory for generations, but this time, something was different. The humans on both sides were sharing intelligence about enemy movements, weapon positions, and tactical plans. More importantly, they were coordinating to prevent the battle from becoming a disaster for either side when Zephyrian fighters broke through Kithani lines and threatened to destroy a civilian station. Bei Jiho's support ships suddenly appeared in perfect position to guide the attackers away from the civilians and toward military targets instead. When Kithani heavy weapons targeted Zephyrian medical ships, Yu Min-seok's cargo vessels developed sudden engine problems that forced the Zephyrian fleet to change course, moving the medical ships out of danger. To the aliens, these seemed like fortunate coincidences and good timing. In reality, every move was planned and coordinated by humans who could see the entire battle from both perspectives. The fighting continued for 6 hours, longer than most alien battles, but with far fewer casualties than anyone expected. When it ended, both sides claimed victory while secretly puzzled by the unusual course of events. The humans performed exceptionally well, reported Zephyrian Admiral Krelvash to his superiors. Their support capabilities exceeded all expectations. We should consider expanding their role in future operations. Similar reports reached Kithani Command from their own officers. Both sides began competing to attract more human support, offering better equipment and more important assignments. Dr. Shin Yu-jin had been studying these developments from Earth, analyzing reports from humans throughout the conflict zone. Her findings worried Earth's leadership. The aliens are starting to depend on us, she reported to President Rowe. Not just for support, but for results they cannot achieve themselves. They do not understand why human involvement makes their operations more successful, but they have noticed the pattern. Kim Tae-woo shared her concern. This makes us valuable, but it also makes us a target. If other species realize that humans can influence the outcome of galactic conflicts, they will want to control us or eliminate us. The concern proved justified when Vorthan ships appeared at the edge of the conflict zone. Ambassador Thexville of the Vorthan Empire sent messages to both Kithani and Zephyrian leaders, demanding to meet with human representatives. The Vorthan Empire wishes to evaluate the potential of this new species, the message stated. We require direct interaction with human military leaders to assess their capabilities and determine appropriate classifications for galactic records. Park Hyun-woo received orders from Earth to handle this meeting carefully. The Vorthans were known for their advanced technology and their habit of absorbing useful species into their empire. If they decided humans were valuable, they might try to claim Earth as Vorthan territory. The meeting took place on a neutral station between the battle lines. Ambassador Thexval was different from the Kithani and Zephyrians, older, more sophisticated, and clearly more intelligent. The Vorthan studied Park Hyan-woo with eyes that seemed to see through deception. Your species is very young, Thexval began. Yet you have achieved results that surprise even experienced civilizations. The Kithani and Zephyrians speak highly of human efficiency and adaptability. We are honored by their trust, Park Hyan-woo replied carefully. Indeed. But efficiency and adaptability are rare qualities in the galaxy. Most species that develop these traits either become great powers or are absorbed by great powers for the benefit of all. The threat was politely stated but unmistakable. Earth values its independence, Park Hyan-woo said. We hope to contribute to galactic peace while maintaining our freedom to choose our own path. Thexval's expression did not change. Freedom is earned through strength. Admiral Park, your species has shown potential, but potential must be proven through greater challenges than pirate raids and support missions. The conversation continued for 2 hours, with the Vorthan asking detailed questions about human technology, military organization, and strategic thinking. Park Hyan-woo answered honestly but carefully, revealing nothing that might be used against Earth while showing enough capability to earn respect. When the meeting ended, Thexval made a final statement that sent chills through every human who heard it. The Vorthan Empire will be watching human development with great interest. We look forward to future opportunities for cooperation. In the language of galactic diplomacy, this was a declaration of intent. The Vorthans had decided that humanity was worth their attention, and that attention could be beneficial or deadly. That evening, Leoseora led a rescue mission that would change everything. A Kithani research station had been attacked by unknown raiders, leaving hundreds of civilians trapped on a damaged facility that was slowly losing life support. Both Kithani and Zephyrian fleets were too far away to help in time. The station would be dead within hours unless someone acted immediately. SAO Scout Squadron was the closest human force, but they were officially just reconnaissance ships with no rescue equipment. The alien commanders rode off the station as a tragic loss following standard procedures that prioritized fleet safety over civilian rescue, but humans did not follow alien procedures. Seora's ships reached the station in 90 minutes, using engine modifications that should not have been possible. Her crew improvised rescue equipment from cargo containers and mining tools, creating solutions that no alien manual had ever described. They evacuated over 400 civilians in conditions that alien rescue services would have declared impossible. The rescued civilians were mostly Kithani, but they included members of 6 different species, including some Zephyrians who had been visiting the research facility. All of them owed their lives to human ingenuity and determination. Word of the rescue spread across the galaxy within days. For the first time, alien civilian General Song Woo-jin stood in the war room beneath Seoul, watching real-time displays of human forces scattered across 17 star systems. What had started as small support contingents had grown into a significant military presence, though. Most aliens still saw humans as junior partners rather than equals. Show me the latest recruitment numbers, he ordered. Colonel Cho Min-ho activated a holographic display. Earth now has over 8,000 personnel in space, serving with 12 different alien factions. Officially, we are providing support services. Unofficially, we are becoming the backbone of every operation we join. The transformation had been gradual but undeniable. Human efficiency, adaptability, and innovation had made them indispensable to alien military operations. What worried Song Woo-jin was how quickly other species were noticing this pattern. The Vorthans have increased their observer presence, reported Kim Tae-woo from his intelligence station. They now have ships monitoring every major human deployment. They are studying us very carefully. Dr. Park Soo-jin had been analyzing data from human personnel throughout the galaxy, looking for patterns in how different species reacted to working with humans. Her findings were both encouraging and alarming. Aliens who work closely with our people consistently report better mission success rates, she explained. But they also report that they do not understand why. Human modifications to their equipment work better than expected. Human tactical suggestions succeed when alien methods fail. They are starting to realize we are not just lucky. The war between the Kithani and Zephyrians had spread to encompass most of the local galactic region. Both sides continued to escalate, bringing in new weapons and larger fleets. More concerning, other species were taking sides, transforming a territorial dispute into something approaching a galactic war. Commander Yang So-young had expanded her communication network to connect human forces across the entire conflict zone. The system now allowed instant coordination between thousands of human personnel, creating the most advanced military communication network in the galaxy. "We can coordinate operations across light years in real time," she reported to Song Woo-jin. "No alien species has this capability. Their communication systems are faster than ours, but they cannot handle the complexity of truly integrated operations." This advantage was about to be tested in the largest space battle in centuries. The Kithani had assembled a massive fleet to attack the Zephyrian stronghold in the Vega system. Over 2,000 ships would participate in the assault, including vessels from allied species and human support units. The Zephyrians had prepared equally massive defenses, turning the Vega system into the most fortified position in their territory. Admiral Park Han-woo commanded human forces attached to the Kithani assault fleet, while Captain OJ-1 led humans working with Zephyrian defenses. To outside observers, humans would be fighting on both sides of the battle. In reality, they would be working together to prevent the battle from becoming a catastrophe. The assault began at dawn, ship time, with Kithani forces jumping into the Vega system in massive waves. The initial attacks followed traditional patterns, heavy ships engaging fixed defenses, while fighters swept the space between major installations. But something went wrong almost immediately. The Kithani fleet formations, planned months in advance, encountered unexpected resistance. Zephyrian defenses had been repositioned and upgraded with new weapons that the Kithani had not anticipated. Within the first hour, the assault was failing badly, with Kithani ships taking heavy casualties while making little progress. Admiral Ketharon, commanding the Kithani fleet, faced a terrible choice: continue the assault and accept massive losses, or retreat and admit defeat. Both options would have severe consequences for the Kithani. Empire. Park Hyung-woo watched the battle develop from his position with the second assault wave. Through Yang So-young's communication network, he could see the entire battlefield from both perspectives. The Kithani assault was doomed to fail, but the Zephyrian defenses were also vulnerable to tactics the Zephyrians themselves could not see. "Admiral," came a transmission from OJ-1, hidden in the Zephyrian network, "the defense grid has a critical weakness. If the Kithani change their approach, they can succeed. But if they continue their current tactics, this becomes a massacre." Park Han-woo faced a decision that would define humanity's future in the galaxy. He could let the battle proceed as planned, allowing the Kithani to fail while proving human value to the Zephyrians. Or he could intervene, saving both sides from disaster while revealing the true extent of human capabilities. He chose intervention. "All human units, this is Admiral Park," he transmitted through the hidden network. "Initiate Harmony Protocol. Begin coordinated repositioning." Across the battlefield, human ships began moving in patterns that seemed random to their alien commanders. Transport vessels developed sudden mechanical problems that required course corrections. Support ships reported sensor anomalies that necessitated position changes. Scout units discovered urgent maintenance issues that forced them to new locations. To the aliens, these appeared to be typical human problems, a young species still learning to operate advanced technology. In reality, every movement was precisely coordinated to create opportunities for both sides to succeed without destroying each other. Captain Bay Jiho's damaged transport ship limped toward a Zephyrian defense platform, apparently seeking emergency repairs. His arrival forced the platform to lower its shields temporarily, creating a window for Kithani fighters to penetrate the defense grid. But Beijiho's ship also carried warning signals that allowed the platform's crew to evacuate before the attack arrived, Lieutenant Commander Yu. Minseok's support squadron reported navigation errors that scattered them across the battlefield. Their movements inadvertently created gaps in Kithani formations that allowed Zephian counterattacks to succeed. But the same movements also guided Zephyrian forces away from Kithani evacuation routes, allowing damaged ships to escape. The battle transformed from a one-sided massacre into a complex dance of advances and retreats. Both sides achieved tactical victories while avoiding catastrophic losses. Alien commanders on both sides reported unprecedented coordination between their forces. Though none could explain how such coordination was possible, Admiral Catharon found his failing assault suddenly revitalized as unexpected opportunities appeared throughout the battlefield. Defense positions that had seemed impregnable developed convenient weaknesses. Zephyrian counterattacks that should have devastated his fleet instead opened new avenues for advance. Admiral Vreldash, commanding Zephyrian defenses, experienced similar impossible luck. Kithani assaults that should have overwhelmed his positions instead became manageable engagements. His counterattacks found perfect timing and positioning that maximized damage while minimizing risk. The battle lasted 14 hours, far longer than any previous engagement in the war. When it ended, both sides claimed victory. The Kithani had captured several important installations in the Vega system. The Zephyrians had inflicted serious damage on the Kithani fleet while maintaining most of their defenses. More importantly, casualties on both sides were far lower than anyone had expected. Military analysts would spend months trying to understand how such a massive battle had produced such limited losses, but some observers were not fooled. The human presence in this battle was significant, reported Vorthan intelligence officer Nextar to his superiors. Ships with human crews consistently achieved better results than comparable vessels with alien crews only. More concerning, human units on both sides of the battle seemed to operate with impossible coordination. The report reached Ambassador Vixville within hours. The Vorthan analyzed the battle data with growing concern and interest. Either humans were the luckiest species in the galaxy, or they possessed capabilities that far exceeded their apparent technology level. Back on Earth, Song Woo-jin studied reports from the battle with mixed feelings. Human coordination had prevented a disaster and saved thousands of lives on both sides. But it had also revealed capabilities that would attract dangerous attention. "The secret is out," he told President Rowe during an emergency meeting. "We can no longer pretend to be simple support personnel. The galaxy knows that something unusual happens when humans are involved in military operations." Dr. Shin Yu-jin had been monitoring galactic communications since the battle ended. Her findings confirmed Song Woo-jin's fears. 6 different species have filed formal inquiries about human military capabilities, she reported. The Vorthans have requested a complete review of all human technology transfers. 2 minor species have offered alliance proposals specifically based on human tactical abilities. Kim Tae-woo brought even more concerning news. Intelligence sources report that the Vorthans are mobilizing additional fleets. They may be preparing to enforce their claims over human territory. President Rowe looked around the room at his advisors. 6 months ago, Earth had been an unknown world on the edge of galactic civilization. Now, humanity was at the center of galactic attention, with the most powerful species in the galaxy considering them either valuable allies or dangerous threats. "How long before they demand answers about our true capabilities?" he asked. "Days not." The summons came simultaneously to every human commander in the galaxy. Admiral Park Hyun-woo read the message while orbiting the contested moon of Kepler 442c, where Kithani and Zephyrian forces maintained an uneasy ceasefire. Captain OJ-1 received identical orders while stationed near the Zephyrian capital world. Every human unit, from the largest command ships to single-person scout vessels, was ordered to return to Earth immediately. All human personnel are hereby recalled to Sol System for urgent consultation, the message read. This recall supersedes all existing assignments and agreements with alien forces. The order came from Admiral Lim Dongmin, who had recently been promoted to Supreme Commander of Earth's newly formed Galactic Defense Force. His promotion had been kept secret from alien observers, who still believed humans had no unified military. Command. Park Hyun-woo acknowledged the recall order while privately wondering what had triggered such a dramatic move. The answer came in a classified addendum to his orders. Vorthan Empire has issued ultimatum regarding human military capabilities. Full disclosure meeting scheduled in Sol System within 72 hours. The mass recall of human forces did not go unnoticed. Alien commanders who had grown dependent on human efficiency suddenly found themselves operating without their most effective personnel. The Kithani Admiral Ketharon sent urgent messages demanding explanations. Zephyrian Fleet Marshal Vreldash filed formal protests about the sudden withdrawal of essential support staff, but the most significant response came from Ambassador Thexval of the Vorthan Empire. The simultaneous recall of all human military personnel confirms our assessment, his message to Earth's government stated. Your species possesses coordinated command capabilities that exceed your reported technology level. The Vorthan Empire demands immediate clarification of human military organization and capabilities. President Ro Yun-soo read the Vorthan ultimatum in his secure bunker beneath Seoul. The message was politely worded, but the meaning was unmistakable. Reveal your true strength or face the consequences. How much do they know? He asked Kim Tae-woo. Enough to be dangerous, the intelligence chief replied. Vorthan analysts have identified patterns in human operations that should be impossible without advanced coordination systems. They know we have been hiding our capabilities, but they do not know the extent of what we have hidden. Dr. Shin Yu-jin had spent the past week analyzing human technological development since first contact. Her report painted a picture of advancement that even she found hard to believe. In 6 months, we have reverse-engineered and improved upon technology that took the aliens centuries to develop, she explained to the Emergency Council. Our ships are faster than comparable alien vessels. Our weapons are more accurate. Our defensive systems adapt to threats in real time. Most importantly, our coordination capabilities exceed anything the galaxy has ever seen. Engineer Yun-han had been working around the clock to prepare demonstrations of human technology for the coming revelation. Her team had built examples of every major advancement Earth had achieved, from the improved engines that made human ships the fastest in the galaxy to the adaptive weapon systems that could outfight any known defensive technology. The aliens shared their technology with us because they thought we were too primitive to understand it, she reported. But human engineering approaches problems differently than alien engineering. We found improvements they never considered because we think about technology in ways they do not. The most significant advancement was Yang So-young's communication network, which had grown into something unprecedented in galactic history. Her system could coordinate the actions of thousands of ships across dozens of star systems in real time, creating a level of tactical integration that no alien species had ever achieved. Traditional alien fleets fight like individual warriors standing together, she explained. Human fleets fight like a single organism with thousands of parts. That is why we achieve results that seem impossible to alien observers. Admiral Lim Dongmin had been planning for this revelation since taking command. His strategy was simple: demonstrate strength while emphasizing peaceful intentions. Show the galaxy that humans were powerful enough to be respected but wise enough to be trusted. We will reveal our capabilities gradually, he explained to the assembled Earth leadership. Start with basic improvements to show that we are more advanced than they believed. Then reveal our coordination abilities to demonstrate why human forces achieve superior results. Finally, if necessary, show them our true military potential. The demonstration would take place in Sol System, where Earth's secret shipyards had been building humanity's first independent space fleet. Hidden construction facilities throughout the solar system had been producing ships, designed entirely with human technology, vessels that combined alien science with human innovation to create something entirely new when the alien delegations Arrived at Earth, they found a completely different world than the one they had left 6 months earlier. Orbital platforms that had not existed during first contact now surrounded the planet. Ships with unfamiliar designs patrolled the system boundaries. Most shocking of all, Earth's defensive installations were clearly advanced enough to challenge any known military force. Ambassador Velther of the Kithani Empire led the alien delegation, accompanied by representatives from the Zephyrian Collective, the Vorthan Empire, and 6 smaller species. They had come expecting to confront a primitive world that had been hiding minor technological improvements. Instead, they found a civilization that appeared to have advanced centuries in months. "This is impossible," Velther transmitted to his ship as they approached Earth. "These installations and ships represent technology levels that should require generations to develop." President Rowe greeted the alien delegation personally, meeting their ships at the newly constructed diplomatic station orbiting Earth. The station itself was a demonstration of human capabilities, designed with alien technology but improved with human innovations that made it more efficient and adaptable than any comparable alien facility. "Welcome back to Earth," President Rowe said as the alien representatives entered the station's main conference chamber. "We have much to discuss." Ambassador Vexville spoke first, his ancient eyes studying the human leader with new respect and concern. "Your species has made remarkable progress since our last meeting. The Vorthan Empire is impressed by your rapid development." "Rapid development is a human specialty," Rowe replied calmly. "We learn quickly because we must. Our short lives teach us to adapt or die." Dr. Shin Yu-jin began the formal presentation with a review of human achievements since first contact. She showed how human engineers had analyzed alien technology, identified improvements, and implemented changes that enhanced performance beyond original specifications. Human cognitive processes approach problems differently than most galactic species, she explained. "Where you see established technology, we see potential for improvement. Where you follow proven methods, we experiment with new approaches." The aliens listened with growing amazement as Shin Yu-jin described advancement after advancement. Human ships that could outmaneuver anything in space. Human weapons that adapted to targets automatically. Human defensive systems that learned from each attack and became stronger. Yung Hana demonstrated some of these technologies directly, showing alien observers how human modifications improve their own equipment. A standard Kithani energy weapon, modified with human engineering, fired 40% faster and hit targets with 60% greater accuracy. A Zephyrian shield generator, enhanced with human adaptations, could withstand twice as much damage while using half as much power. "You have been improving our technology without our knowledge," observed Zephyrian Representative Kyle Vash. "Every piece of equipment you used in our service has been secretly modified." "We improved it," Rowe corrected. "We made it work better than the original designers intended." Is this not beneficial to everyone? But the most shocking revelation came when Yang So-young demonstrated the human communication network on screens throughout the conference chamber. She showed real-time connections to human personnel across the galaxy. Thousands of people scattered across dozens of star systems, all connected in a single integrated network. "This is how human forces coordinate their actions," she explained. "We do not fight as separate units following independent orders. We fight as parts of a single organism, sharing information and adjusting tactics instantly as situations change." The alien representatives sat in stunned silence as they realized the implications. Every human force they had worked with was connected to every other human force in real time. Information flowed instantly across the galaxy, allowing coordination on a scale that had never been achieved before. "No wonder your forces achieve impossible results," Velther said quietly. "You see the entire battlefield from every perspective simultaneously." Admiral Lim revealed the final surprise: Earth's independent military capability. Holographic displays showed the locations of human shipyards, defensive installations, and patrol fleets throughout Sol System. Earth was no longer a defenseless world dependent on alien protection. It had become a military power capable of defending itself against any known threat. 6 months ago, 3 weeks after the revelation at Earth, the galaxy was in chaos. The discovery that humans possessed advanced military capabilities had shattered established power structures and created unprecedented uncertainty among the major civilizations. Fleet. Admiral Chung Min-seok read intelligence reports from across known space while standing on the bridge of the newly commissioned Earth Starship Harmony. The vessel represented the pinnacle of human engineering, a combination of alien science and human innovation that surpassed anything in the galactic arsenals. The Kithani and Zephyrians have agreed to peace negotiations, reported Captain Lee, COR from her position at the communications station. Both sides request human mediation for the talks. This request surprised no one who understood the new galactic situation. Human forces had been present in every major engagement of the war, achieving impossible coordination and preventing catastrophic losses. Both sides had come to realize that humans could end their conflict, or escalate it beyond all control, but the Kithani-Zephyrian War was only one of several conflicts threatening galactic stability. The revelation of human capabilities had triggered a chain reaction of territorial disputes, alliance shifts, and military buildups as every species tried to position themselves advantageously in the new order. The Vorthans are mobilizing their home fleet, Kim Tae-woo reported during the morning briefing. Intelligence suggests they are preparing for a major military action, possibly against Earth itself. This news did not surprise Chun Min-seok. The Vorthans were accustomed to being the dominant military power in the galaxy. The emergence of a species that could match or exceed their capabilities threatened everything they had built over millennia. How long before their fleet reaches Sol System? He asked. 6 days at maximum speed, Kim Tae-woo replied. They are bringing over 500 ships, including their most advanced dreadnoughts. President Roh had anticipated this possibility. Earth's rapid rise to galactic prominence would inevitably trigger a response from established powers who saw humanity as a threat to their dominance. The question was whether Earth could survive the challenge while maintaining its commitment to peace. Prepare the Unity Protocol, Chun Min-seok ordered. Contact all human personnel throughout the galaxy. It is time to show the Vorthans what real coordination looks like. Yang So-young's communication network had evolved far beyond its original design. The system now connected not just human military forces, but civilian populations, research facilities, and industrial centers across dozens of worlds. Humanity had created the first truly integrated interstellar civilization, where information and resources flowed instantly across vast distances. All human assets are online and ready, Yang So-young reported. We have real-time connection to 47 star systems with human presence. Total personnel count, 12,000 military, 38,000 civilian support. The numbers were impressive, but what made them truly powerful was the coordination. Every human in space could communicate instantly with every other human, sharing information and resources as needed. No alien civilization had ever achieved such integration. Dr. Park Soo-jin had been studying the biological and psychological factors that made human coordination possible. Her research revealed why humans could achieve integration that eluded other species. Most galactic species live for centuries, she explained to the Earth Leadership Council. They develop deep knowledge and strong traditions, but they resist change. Humans live for decades, so we must learn quickly and adapt constantly. This makes us naturally better at working together and sharing information. But coordination alone would not be enough to face the Vorthan threat. Earth needed allies, and finding them required a new approach to galactic diplomacy. Ambassador Han Da-jin had been working to build relationships with smaller species, who felt threatened by the major powers. Her approach was revolutionary. Instead of seeking subordinate allies, she offered genuine partnerships based on mutual benefit as shared technology. Traditional galactic diplomacy is based on hierarchy, she explained to President Roh. Strong species protect weak species in exchange. For resources and loyalty, we are offering something different: cooperation between equals where each species contributes their unique strengths. This approach attracted species that had been marginalized by the established order. The Kepler Mining Confederation, tired of being exploited by larger empires, offered their industrial capabilities to support human fleet construction. The Tau Ceti Research Collective, impressed by human innovation, proposed joint scientific projects that could benefit all participants. Most importantly, the civilian populations of major species were responding positively to human outreach. People throughout the galaxy had heard stories of human rescues, human fairness, and human willingness to help without demanding payment or submission. The peace negotiations between the Kithani and Zephyrians began on the neutral world of Proxima Centauri B under human mediation. Ambassador Han Jin led the talks, supported by advisors who understood both species' cultures and motivations. "This war has cost both your civilizations enormously," she began the opening session. "Resources wasted on weapons could have been used to improve life for your people. Ships destroyed in battle could have been exploring new worlds. Lives lost in combat could have been building a better future." The negotiations were difficult. Both species had centuries of hostility and mistrust to overcome. Traditional alien diplomacy would have required generations to achieve meaningful progress. But human mediation offered something new: real-time communication with all stakeholders, instant fact-checking of claims and proposals, and creative solutions that neither side had considered. Captain Bei Ji-ho coordinated intelligence gathering to support the negotiations. Human personnel throughout both empires monitored public opinion, economic conditions, and military readiness, providing negotiators with perfect information about the real situation on both sides. "The Kithani population is tired of war," he reported during a break in negotiations. "Public support for continued fighting has dropped to 30%. The Zephyrian civilian leadership wants peace, but their military commanders fear losing face through compromise." This information allowed Han Jin to craft proposals that addressed each side's real concerns rather than their stated positions. She found ways for both species to claim victory while actually ending the conflict that was destroying them both. The breakthrough came when human technological assistance was offered as part of the peace agreement. Both species would receive access to human improvements to their existing technology, making them stronger and more prosperous than before the war began. "We are not asking you to become dependent on human technology," Han Jin explained. "We are offering to share knowledge that will make your own technology more effective. You will remain independent and sovereign, but you will benefit from cooperation." The peace treaty was signed as the Vorthan fleet approached Sol System. News of the agreement spread across the galaxy within hours, demonstrating that human diplomacy could achieve in weeks what traditional methods had failed to accomplish in decades. But the real test was about to begin. The Vorthan fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of Sol System in a display of overwhelming force. 500 ships arranged in perfect formations, weapons powered and shields raised. Admiral Corvex of the Vorthan Empire commanded the force personally, intending to demonstrate that challenges to Vorthan supremacy would not be tolerated. "Human vessels, you will stand down and prepare for inspection," Corvex transmitted on all frequencies. "The Vorthan Empire claims jurisdiction over this system and all human assets for security evaluation." Chun Min-seok responded from the Bridge of Harmony, flanked by the most advanced fleet humanity had ever assembled. 200 human ships faced 500 Vorthan vessels, impossible odds by any conventional calculation. "Admiral Corvex, this is Fleet Admiral Chun Min-seok of the Earth Defense Force. Sol System is sovereign human territory under galactic law. Your fleet is not welcome here, but you are free to withdraw peacefully." The Vorthan Admiral's response was predictable. "You are outnumbered more than 2 to 1, human. Surrender now and your people will be treated fairly under Vorthan protection." What happened next would be remembered as the moment everything changed in galactic history. Instead of responding with words, Chun Min-seok demonstrated the true meaning of human coordination. Every human ship in Sol System moved simultaneously. Not as individual vessels following orders, but as parts of a single organism responding to unified will, the formation that resulted was impossible by alien standards. 200 ships moved as one entity, creating defensive patterns that overlapped and reinforced each other while maintaining perfect positioning for offensive action. No alien fleet had ever achieved such coordination because no alien species could share information and control systems in real time across multiple vessels. But the real surprise came from beyond Sol system. Through Yang So-young's network, human forces throughout the galaxy coordinated their actions with the defense fleet. Ships that had been working with alien allies suddenly revealed their true capabilities, demonstrating speed and agility that exceeded all expectations. More importantly, 6 months and 12 days after first contact, President Ro Yun-su stood before the Galactic Assembly on the space station that orbited the ancient world of Kepler 438b, the chamber that had once hosted meetings between alien empires now served as the seat of a new government, the Galactic Union, with humanity at its center. The transformation still amazed him. The same aliens who had offered Earth protected status as a primitive species now sought human guidance for their own civilizations. The former children had become the teachers, and the galaxy was learning lessons it never knew it needed. Director Kimba Oram sat at the central command station, managing the vast network of information and coordination that made the new union possible. Her team monitored everything from trade routes to diplomatic negotiations across hundreds of star systems, using Yang So-young's communication network to maintain real-time awareness of galactic conditions. Colony ship Endeavour has reached the Proxima Centauri system and reports successful establishment of the research station, she announced to the Assembly. The Tau Ceti Collective confirms they are ready to begin joint exploration of the Vega Nebula. The Kepler Mining Confederation requests human advisors for their expansion into the Outer Rim territories. These reports represented the new reality of galactic civilization. Where once species had competed for resources and territory, they now cooperated under human coordination to explore and develop the galaxy together. The efficiency gains were enormous, but more importantly, the conflicts that had plagued the galaxy for millennia were ending. Captain Park Min-jae commanded the exploration fleet that had become humanity's signature contribution to galactic society. His ships carried mixed crews from dozens of species, all working together to map unknown regions and make contact with newly discovered civilizations. "We have found 3 new species in the past month," he reported during his quarterly briefing to the Assembly. "All 3 have requested Union membership after observing our diplomatic protocols. They are particularly impressed by our commitment to equality and mutual benefit." This was the pattern that had emerged wherever human-led expeditions made contact with new civilizations. Unlike the traditional approach of major powers seeking to dominate or absorb new species, humans offered genuine partnership and shared technology. The results spoke for themselves. Voluntary membership in the Union was growing rapidly, while resistance to human leadership was almost non-existent. Ambassador Velther of the former Kithani Empire sat in the section reserved for founding members of the Union. His attitude completely transformed from their first meeting on Earth. The being who had once condescended to humans as primitive creatures now served as one of humanity's most trusted advisors. "The integration of former Zephyrian and Kithani territories proceeds ahead of schedule," he reported. "Joint infrastructure projects are producing benefits neither empire achieved independently. The elimination of military competition has freed resources for scientific research and social development. The peace treaty that had ended the Kithani-Zephyrian War had become a model for resolving conflicts throughout the galaxy. Human mediation techniques, supported by perfect information sharing and creative problem-solving, could find solutions that traditional diplomacy never discovered. Dr. Shin Yu-jin had been studying the broader implications of human integration into galactic society. Her research revealed patterns that even she found remarkable. Human presence in any system or organization improves efficiency by an average of 40%, she reported to the Assembly. But more importantly, it reduces conflict by over 70%. Species that work with humans consistently report improved relationships with other species as well. The reason was becoming clear to scientists throughout the galaxy. Human cognitive flexibility and rapid adaptation allowed them to understand and bridge differences between species that had seemed incompatible. Where aliens saw fundamental conflicts, humans found creative compromises that satisfied everyone's essential needs. Engineer Yun Hana had expanded her technology development programs to include researchers from every member species. The hybrid technologies emerging from these collaborations surpassed anything any single species had achieved independently. "We are not replacing alien technology," she explained to a gathering of industrial leaders. "We are helping each species reach the full potential of their own innovations." Tithani durability combined with Zephyrian speed and human adaptability create systems that serve everyone's needs better than any single approach. This philosophy had revolutionized galactic industry. Instead of competing to develop superior technologies, species now collaborated to create hybrid systems that incorporated the best features of multiple approaches. The results were technologies that exceeded anything previously imagined. Admiral Lim Dongmin commanded the Union Defense Force, a truly integrated military that drew personnel and equipment from every member species. The force was technically the most powerful military organization in galactic history, but its primary mission was peacekeeping and disaster response rather than conquest. The Outer Rim pirates attempted to raid shipping in the Vega sector last week, he reported. Union rapid response teams intercepted them before any damage occurred. The pirates were given the choice between prosecution and integration into legitimate salvage operations. 70% chose integration. This approach to law enforcement represented another human innovation. Instead of simply punishing wrongdoing, the Union focused on addressing the underlying causes of antisocial behavior and providing better alternatives. The recidivism rate had dropped to almost zero, but the most significant change was visible in the assembly chamber itself. Representatives from over 100 species sat together, sharing information and making decisions through real-time collaboration that would have been impossible under the old system of separate empires and competing interests. Ambassador Thexville of the Vorthan Empire spoke from his position as senior advisor to the Union Council. The ancient being who had once threatened to absorb humanity into his empire now served as one of the most effective advocates for human leadership. The Vorthan Empire resisted human integration longer than any other major power, he admitted to the assembly. "We believed our age and experience made us superior to this young species. We were wrong. Human leadership has achieved peace and prosperity that our empire never accomplished in thousands of years of dominance." The admission was remarkable coming from a species that had ruled portions of the galaxy since before humans developed agriculture. But the evidence was undeniable. Galactic civilization under human coordination was more peaceful, more prosperous, and more innovative than it had ever been under traditional imperial rule. Commander Yang So-young had evolved her communication network into something unprecedented in galactic history. The system now connected not just military and government facilities, but educational institutions, research centers, and cultural organizations across hundreds of worlds. "We are witnessing the emergence of a true galactic consciousness," she reported to the assembly. Ideas and innovations spread instantly across the galaxy. A scientific breakthrough on one world becomes available to researchers everywhere within hours. Cultural achievements are shared immediately among all member species. This information integration had accelerated progress in every field. Medical research that might have taken decades now produced results in months. Engineering problems that had puzzled species for generations were solved through collaboration between experts who had never met but could share knowledge instantly. Dr. Park Sujin had been studying the biological and social factors that made human coordination successful, where alien attempts had failed. Her findings explained why humanity had succeeded where older, more advanced species had not. Most galactic species evolved on worlds with stable environments, she explained. They developed deep specialization and strong hierarchies that worked well in predictable conditions. Humans evolved on a chaotic world with changing climates and constant challenges. We learned to be generalists who could adapt quickly and work together despite our differences. This adaptability had proven invaluable in managing a diverse galactic civilization, where rigid alien hierarchies created conflicts between different species. Human flexibility found ways to accommodate everyone's needs and abilities. The economic transformation had been equally dramatic. Under the old system of competing empires, vast resources were wasted on military buildups and territorial conflicts. The Union's cooperative approach had freed these resources for productive use, creating unprecedented prosperity. Trade coordinator Li Dongsu reported on economic conditions across Union territory. Galactic GDP has increased by 60% since Union formation. More importantly, this prosperity is shared equally among all member species. There are no longer wealthy empires and impoverished colonies. This economic equality had eliminated many of the underlying causes of galactic conflict. Species that have fought for generations over resource access now cooperated to develop new sources of wealth that benefited everyone. Captain Park Min-jae's exploration fleets had discovered dozens of new worlds suitable for colonization. But instead of triggering conflicts over territorial claims,